we're back at it, with the Ratchet Clank game nobody knows exists, because the PlayStation 4 came out 3 days later. Oops. Can you beat Ratchet Clank Into the Nexus without using vendors? The veterans know this by heart, but for the new viewers, we'll just really quickly go over it. As normal, we won't be able to buy weapons or ammo from the weapons vendors, which means we will be limited to 2 weapons. Only 2. Those being the Omni Blaster and Fusion Grenade. On top of that, weapons cap in Nexus at level 3 instead of the usual 5. Nexus also brings back the Veritanium system from Tools of Destruction. This is accessed again through a vendor, so we won't be able to use our Veritanium. And again, we cannot buy armor. This means we will be taking max damage throughout the entire game. Finally, we are banning the Rhino 7 because you know why. Obviously, we are playing on the max difficulty Legend. The keynotes are: we cannot buy weapons, we cannot buy ammo, we cannot use Veritanium, we cannot buy armor, and no Rhino. These Ratchet Clank challenges seem to only be getting harder. I'm going to have to use all my skills to have even a chance at beating this one. We find Ratchet Clank working on a prison ship, transporting the dangerous criminal, Vendra Prog, to a quintuple life sentence. They wake Kronk and Zephyr before everything goes wrong. Who saw that coming? Vendra has played around with the gravity and we are introduced to the Grav Leap, a way of jumping between magnetic surfaces. At the moment, the only weapon we have is the Omni Blaster, which we use to bring down a platform. Vendra tries to throw us into the vacuum of space, but after dodging some asteroids, we make our way back inside. Ratchet needs to throw some battery bots back at the prison cell, and Vendra is put back to sleep. However, Neft and Prog attacks the ship with thugs for less. I'm not too sure how these guys survived their leader getting whatever you call this, but they are back here to free Vendra. Not before playing some Wang Chong though.
Fire Omni rockets on my mark. Mark. Whoops. Wrong button.
Luckily, we get our second weapon, the Fusion Grenade. This is it. This is how many weapons we will have to beat this game. We can min-max our bombs by throwing them into groups of enemies. Maximizing our weapons is a very important tactic because in this game, level ups don't increase ammo capacity. Our weapons will be getting slightly stronger, but our ammo will not be increasing at all. We can fight our way through the ship pretty easily, as there are plenty of ammo crates around. And as you all know, when we are all out of ammo, we can hit them with the wrench. We reach the bridge before realising that Kronk and Zephyr have been captured. Vendra makes her escape and they both die. We now need to make it through the debris, which is about as easy as normal. Ratchet hitches a ride on this one ship and we move on. We find ourselves stranded on Yerick. Ratchet informs his sort of girlfriend that her best friends are now completely dead. We walk about 5 seconds before realising there's something very wrong with this planet. The thugs try to corner the Terrachnoid, and he gives us something called a Grav Tether. This will allow us to glide over an energy beam, which is pretty cool. We realise very quickly, however, that we die in about 4 hits, and our weapons really don't deal much damage. Even at level 3, we still need to use most of our ammo to defeat just a handful of enemies. We were able to use a couple turrets though that are littered around this area, which are obviously a lot stronger than our weapons. A cool little thing about the Grav Tether is that it can catch enemies in the zero gravity. This is insanely situational, but it is also insanely cool. For all our efforts, we get an exclusive invite to Destructapalooza, the arena for this game.
Before Destructapalooza, I was CEO of a respectable mutual fund and brokerage firm. Now I prey on the innocent for a living because the economy is in the shit.
For now though, we need to free Pollux from captivity. This means going through the sewers and caves. We do, however, find Pollux rather quickly, and he invites us to his book club. Oh, and he also gives Clank an upgrade that'll allow him to enter interdimensional nuclear rifts. A couple more rifts later, and we head towards the abandoned orphanage. We do now get both of our weapons to max level. Offensively, we are not getting any more powerful than this, and we still have about 4/5 of the game to go. Whoops. We find Vendra and Nefton, and it seems they've built a Dimensionator, which they are using to bring these creatures called Nethers into our dimension. Ratchet Clank gets spotted, and we need to get the hell out of there. The captain makes his contractual appearance, and just as quickly he realizes he is not the priority in this story, and he gets out of there. Crag is the arena of this game, and it's one of the best arenas in the entire series. All we need to do is complete the Bronze Cup at minimum. The ammo crates in the arena will keep regenerating over time, and our ammo will be auto-refilled after each challenge. Most of these challenges are pretty easy by consequence, but we do get to face off against the Mangler. The final challenge involves us fighting another blaze bot, although this one is a lot more powerful. He will keep spawning in minions, which we do need to take care of. Luckily again, ammo crates will keep spawning in, so we just need to focus on not getting hit. This does take a few tries, but once you learn the patterns, he should go down. Clank then gets his jetpack. We go and do the Silver Cup too, not for the bolts, but mainly for the health XP to get the extra health. In these challenges, we get to test out our new jetpack, which, like any game with a jetpack, is insanely fun. Again, most of the challenges aren't of any real note other than the final end battle. We need to fight a Gargathon. This guy will fire toxins that will make platforms dangerous to be on. At some point, there will be a phase shift where we need to swap to the jetpack. Just focus on dodging, and you should be good. With that, the Silver Cup is complete. Apologies for the intermission, but if you've been enjoying this video, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing to a friend who would enjoy this challenge too. It really does help boost the channel to more people and will allow me to continue doing these kinds of videos and challenges. If you really want to go above and beyond, you can also buy a channel membership with perks that include early access to these videos and voting on the next challenge I do. Anyway, back to the video. We reach an abandoned city on Psylocks to find Vendra. The Nethers and Thugs are here to fight us. The Nethers are kinda difficult to defeat as they warp around a lot. They're almost identical to the Kragmites from Tools of Destruction. The main gimmick of this level is that we need to stay out of the spotlights. This isn't so much a stealth level as is more of a we need to go the long way around kind of level. We play around with the water a little bit in this level in a fun callback to the original 2002 game. Most of this level is pretty solid, but about halfway in, we need to fight a mini-boss, the Thug Dropship. Luckily, the ammo crates in this area also keep respawning, but this guy can mow us down in seconds if we let him. We've really got to be paying attention to the attacks, but we take him down. Things don't get any easier. Clank hacks into a computer, and Ratchet needs to fight off waves of enemies charging at us. The fusion grenade is amazing in this area to control the battlefield. We want to be min-maxing that ammo to the max. On top of the waves of enemies, we need to take down another blaze bot, and after that, another Thug Dropship. There isn't much extra to say about these mini-bosses, they're just more of the same. Clank finds out that Neftin is located at the main tower. We then get to use our jetpacks in an open zone type area. We've got to find 3 battery bots to drain the water pumps. This is done pretty easily. You don't even need to defeat the enemies, though you will need to do some insane god level dodging. Exploring the water pumps is more or less the same, with some more water rising sections. We get another dropship. Jesus, how many of these guys have we fought in the last 20 minutes? I'm losing track. Clank then gets his only gameplay section in the middle of the game, and he almost gets run down by a train? Regardless, we now need to fight Neftin Frog. He mostly uses shockwave attacks, so as long as you jump at the right time and keep running around, you'll be okay. Every now and then he will call in his thugs who will come in on the train. We need to take them out ASAP. Luckily, like all boss fights, the ammo crates will keep respawning. With all this info, taking down Neftin Frog is no problem at all. Vendra appears to allow Mr. I to cross into our world, and they immediately kidnap Vendra. Ratchet and Clank need to make a run for it before we get cornered. Neftin then saves us, and we go to his secret base. Thram is the big crystal hunt level of Into the Nexus, and normally I wouldn't have much to say about this level. We meet the smuggler who will give us a pair of hover boots for 10 horns. We can get horns in 2 ways. We can either find a collection of bones or fight a Gargathon, which will give us 3. The issue with fighting Gargathons is that we need to use every piece of ammo from both of our weapons to take one down. Now, this isn't exactly ideal as we cannot go back to a vendor to buy back the ammo, so we need to find it in boxes, which is not a very long run solution. There are plenty of bones left in skeletons though, so we can 100% get 10 horns, no problem. Now, I did attempt to find an additional 30 horns to get access to Clank's jetpack, but we simply don't have the ammo to take down the Gargathors, and there aren't enough bones to get horns that way. This isn't too big of a deal though. The jetpack only makes collecting extra horns a little bit easier, and extra horns only give you bolts, which we can't use anyway. We explore the eastern parts of the swamp using our hover boots. We find Nefton very well camouflaged, and he tells us we need to get him the original Dimensionator. We head to the Ratchet Clank Museum to get the original Dimensionator, which is held in an exhibit. Now, why is the most powerful weapon in the universe being shown off in an exhibit and not, I don't know, locked away in a safe or something? I don't know, I'm gonna say it was Quark's idea. The museum is a fun callback with references to the last 11 years of Ratchet & Clank's adventures. We reach the supervillains wing with such iconic villains as Dr. Nefarious, Emperor Tachyon, and Stuart Zergo? That one guy from Ratchet & Clank 2 who becomes a villain in Full Frontal Assault and dies? You remember him. We even get a callback to Ratchet & Clank 3 with a fully working bio-obliterator graciously donated by former President Quark. Due to our complete lack of ammo in this segment, we use the turret on one of the planets. We get the Dimensionator without triggering any alarms because it's just sitting there, and send it off to Quark and Nefton. The Nethers are here to destroy it, however. We're going to have to fight several Nether brutes, but we don't have enough ammo to defeat them. I tried skipping over this fight, but the taxi to take us to the second half of the level seems to only activate when the mini-boss is defeated. We end up doing wrench throws to defeat it, which takes a long while. Immediately after, we are told we need to take down 3 Nether brutes. Now, I initially thought this would be near impossible. There are a lot of enemies, and these mini-bosses throw down spawners that create even more Nethers. Now, there are a few key notes that we should probably highlight. The ammo crates here respawn when you run out of ammo. Only a set number of Nethers can be on screen at once, and after beating a Nether brute, he's down forever. Even if we die immediately after the mini-boss remains defeated. So long as we aggro the mini-boss, we don't actually need to fight any of the other Nethers. Beat the mini-boss and get the hell out. This is a lot harder in combat, but after about an hour of trying, we did get through it, and now we move on to an even harder encounter, the final boss with Mr. I. There are, once again, a few key things about this fight. The ammo will keep regenerating, enemy spawners will be created constantly, and we get a checkpoint between phases. Even with checkpoints, this fight is very difficult. Not only do we need to be constantly attacking, but we need to conserve ammo to destroy the spawners as soon as they're created, to minimize the Nethers that come out of it. Regardless, we switch between Ratchet and Clank a few times while fighting him, which is pretty cool. Each swap gives us a checkpoint, as already mentioned. Just learn his patterns and he will go down. Vendra and Clank escape the Netherverse, while Ratchet and Nefton banish Mr. I to it. And with that, the Ratchet and Clank Into the Nexus No Vendors Challenge is complete. As always, a huge shout out to all YouTube members. I appreciate every single one of you. An even bigger shout out to all first class soldier members, including Friendly Neighborhood Lurker, Kupo Corner, Multi-Brad X, _XX Pitters 98XX _, and of course, thank you for watching the full video.